What is going on, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to score a lot of your free kicks. So to start with, what you're going to need is a dead ball playstyle plus. It does work with a dead ball, but I must admit, if you can have somebody that is orientated around free kicks, it's going to be absolutely perfect. We're set up in the free kick area so I can quickly go through a few different steps, because there is definitely a few that you can go with, but one that I've found really nicely works, and it has worked online. It may be not as efficient as kind of what we see in this one, but as you see, okay. He's just taking it with, I've obviously gone too long. I didn't think I'd have that in practice mode. But if you get the chip option here, you can see literally just the line there. You can hold it as straight as you like to the keeper, and it just dips in every time. Again, it depends on if someone puts somebody on the line. There's not a lot you can do. There is also the kind of outside of the foot one that you can kind of whiz over the top. That one dependent on if your kind of wall jumps or not. 3.5 bars of power is kind of like the way that I'd normally go with a lot of these. You go max, it absolutely floods it out the stadium. Like as you see here, we've gone max, and it'll just absolutely whack it. So you're kind of looking 3.5, maybe a little bit over. It's not necessarily the big one, but the chip seems to be very ideal. If you get it kind of a little bit inwards of the goal, even if they jump, it's a beautiful one. And I think with obviously the dead ball specialist, you can have that line so perfectly curved. If you go for the knuckleball, it is one of them ones you can see just even there. It's absolutely brilliant, but it's a shame I can't actually not have the wall. But even if you look at something like this, you've kind of got this complete open here. You can go for the power, which is LB or L1 inside, and you go for kind of like just a slap shot. That one's not going to be as effective. I wonder if you can do the chip across the pit, across the net in here. So we go for a little chip. We'll look a little bit on the inside because you give enough for a bit of swerve. I feel like the keeper should get it from there. Maybe not actually, but the chip really seems to be a nice one. Obviously it's a little bit closer distance. It's not going to be necessarily as prominent as we go further and further out. We've gone for just a bit over 3 in this one. And yeah, every single time. If we go a bit further out, I don't know whether it would work from this sort of distance if we try the chip again, because he'll have a bit more time to naturally get himself in position. So let's go for 3.5 again, maybe a little bit more. Goes for the big hit. Yeah, so you have to be relatively close for that one. I have noticed that you can go with the outside of the foot here, and you can really kind of get the power behind it. And you can see by the line, if you keep the line in there, you know full well with the dead ball plus, it just adds that little extra, and you can get that bit of a swerve. But if you've got the keeper's side, it's always a nice one for this out curve if you can get it right. So for instance, if we're looking a little bit further away from goal, may not be every time, but if you do practice this, you can get that swerve and sometimes beat the keeper. When it comes to being further out, I do like the inside more than anything. So I'm looking for the curve from just past that kind of far man. Sometimes the wall could hit it. Imagine if that went in. But sometimes the wall can hit it, but you a lot of the time should be able to get it over. So let's see if we could just swaz it round, looking kind of like the third head here. See if the wall jumps, which it does. If you need to get it like absolutely spot on here, that's kind of the way to go. All the way down, we've gone quite a lot of power there, so that's going to be a big one. But as we go closer and closer, as we see, we should be able to get that chip shot. We've got about, what, 21 here. Again, looking a bit further into the goal. Goes for that 3.5. That should dip over everybody and should dip over the keeper. So I would recommend that. Let's see, in fact, if we just kick this one out. See what the distance is. Could we get it at 23? Because I think the further you go out, what's that, 22 I'm assuming? We're at 22. That should most definitely dip in. There's no way that doesn't. Give it a good hit. Big whack, beautiful. And then we'll go a little bit further out. I think it'd be about the 23, 24. The keeper looks like he's getting there. So let's see if we can go this. If you can get it at the top as well, we can see right there, it's a big whip over the top. That's nice. Okay, so let's go a bit further back. 24, I think that is. 24. See if we can get it from here. I think 24, 25, I'd imagine is kind of like you're hitting and hoping. You're looking very close to the post because yeah, look, you can see from there he's absolutely getting that every time. If we went with a little bit more outside curve, it might just push him away from it a little bit. And no, he got it. Yeah, so I'd say anywhere from like 23 and in, you should be able to get it. I think 24 might be a bit too much. I don't think that's enough power. But like I said, 3.5, you might get a couple in there. But like I said, in terms of this, I'd be looking more at the power, trying to swaz it round, trying to go for that curve away from the keeper. That's going to be the area that I would like. Again, you can kind of go a bit further out. We're kind of in the same distance, but we have kind of gone out a little bit. You can almost go away from him. 25, like we suggest here, you've got the wall not there, so it's kind of telling you you don't need to. But if you went with like the bit of swaz that you've got, if you go for the knuckleball, I don't know if this is going to go left or right, but if you go kind of outside curve, you can see it does kind of just absolutely go mental on it. So that one for me is going to be just a literal hit and hope. You can have the thing, but as we see there, that's kind of knuckling in. Sometimes you might be able to get away with it, but that one's less guaranteed, if you like, and kind of you want to be hitting the roof as much as possible. That one's going to swerve outwards as well, so you're looking... Ooh, I mean, that's not terrible. You could probably aim for that really easily. It's the one thing I like. You've got to always kind of account for the raise in the ball. But if you've got no men there, like if you've got a 3-man wall, you... And that's the point. Sometimes a knuckleball will do that. So you've always got to watch out on that one. But I'd say 24 and above, you're looking for that chip shot, and it should do an absolute madness. Let me know if this helps.